It's a beautiful day out there, warm temperatures. That's our Bratcher weather camera overlooking campus. Students probably enjoying this nice weather, walking to classes, no issues at all. And all of us out there seeing the nice weather. A few clouds trying to build in here from the west. And boy, did the temperatures shoot up today, the warmest we have been in months. We have to go back to November since we were pretty much as warm as what we were today. Take a look here, still at 65 in Springfield, a little cooler in Champaign at 61, and no issues through tonight. A calm evening expected. We've got some changes this week. Rain, thunderstorms, and then much cooler air showing up on the 7-day. We'll show it to you when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Tonight, it'll be their first semi-normal legislative session since 2019. What's on the agenda for state lawmakers this week? Plus, jury trials are back after being delayed for months. What that means for the victims who are finally getting some resolution.
And good news, high school sports fans, how many of you can now watch outdoor games?
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
It's really exciting, first of all, to be here, I think, for most of us.
Dozens of state lawmakers are returning to Springfield as the state Senate prepares to return to action tomorrow. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Lawmakers filed thousands of new bills, several of them leftover plans that stalled when the coronavirus hit. But now the State House is getting back into action. Our Capitol Bureau Chief, Mark Maxwell, is live in Springfield. So, Mark, tell us, what are we in for?
Jennifer, it's a bit interesting seeing lawmakers in person. They had been here just a few times over the last year, but most of that was under emergency pretense, and media didn't have much access. Now they're coming back. Everyone that's going to be in the building has to wear a face mask and have a negative coronavirus test. And the coronavirus itself is the biggest issue. We caught up with a couple senators just moments ago as they themselves were taking their tests to make sure that they tested negative before they are planning to gather tomorrow. And each one of them told me the coronavirus and the economic damage it had on the state is the biggest issue.
You know, COVID is still really out there. So it's really all about making sure that we're helping our businesses, helping people, and making sure that we're getting the dollars out there and making decisions that are really going to help get everybody back to work and hopefully vaccinated and back out there.
COVID-19 issues, and we've got to have proper funding to get to our small businesses and our local communities that are just struggling so much still right now.
Senators Melinda Bush and Steve McClure there giving you some look at what's to come. Of course, the American Rescue Plan that President Biden called for has some $7+ billion for the state of Illinois in it. Could that cross his desk and make it a big windfall for the state? They're looking at that. Also, two big issues on the agenda. Energy policy with the Clean Energy Jobs Act and this redistricting debate. Once a decade it comes up. Politicians preparing to draw those maps that will allow politicians to pick their voters for the next 10 years. All that on the agenda for the rest of the session as they start things off tomorrow morning. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Mark, I have to ask, was that Chapin Rose photobombing that interview?
Did he make an appearance? Yeah, he had a bit of a cameo. He was in shorts, just kind of racing through. We didn't have a chance to catch up with the senator from Muhammad, but yeah, he was making a quick appearance, I think.
He looked excited to be back as well. All right, thank you.
Police are investigating a shooting that left one person hurt in Springfield. Happened around noon near Ash and Glenwood. Witnesses told police they saw two cars on the road when the shots were fired. The victim was taken to the hospital. He's expected to recover. Police say he was the victim of another shooting less than 2 weeks ago. No word on any suspect information. A man is dead after being shot in an apartment in Bloomington. This happened just before 7 last night near the corner of Clearwater Avenue and North Hershey Road. Police responded to a call for a non-responsive person. When they arrived, they found a man's body with gunshots.
A man accused of puncturing tires on more than 100 cars was in court today. Dallas Bone was arrested on Friday. It happened in an Urbana neighborhood last week. Today, Bone was charged with property damage. Some of the people who live in the area say they are relieved to know he was arrested, and they're frustrated over the inconvenience.
I mean, it was annoying and it was expensive. Fortunately, we have a little air compressor, so we were able to get by for the day. But yeah, it's not something you want to run into.
His preliminary hearing is set to take place in April. As more vaccines are given, we're seeing more signs of life returning to normal. Now, juries are returning to courtrooms throughout the state. WCIA 3's Jen Lask is live in our newsroom. Jen, some trials have been delayed, but the need for victim support is still there. It's been constant.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Many jury trials went on pause this winter when cases spiked in Illinois. Indicator, for example, the Macon County Circuit Court has more than 60 jury trial cases that they're working to get through this spring. Some of those involve domestic abuse and battery. In certain cases, the victims are minors. I spoke with the Children's Advocacy Centers of Illinois. They say regardless of the timing of the trial, medical, mental health professionals, law enforcement, prosecutors, and more groups have continued working with children and the non-offending parents to help them heal.
In order for kids to do better, their non-offending caregivers need to be doing better. So we're just continuing to give them support, whether it be frustration over a delayed hearing or whether it be them not being able to provide transportation to their kids to get back and forth to appointments.
Jury cases in Macon County resumed back in February. In Champaign County, they picked up back last week. Back to you.
All right, Jen, thank you so much. Now, half of mandated reporters are teachers and school employees, and that's been a huge concern for child victim advocates this past year because some children aren't back in the classrooms. They say it's important to talk to your kids and listen to them so you can figure out if something isn't right.
State police say 2 people, including a 2-year-old, were sent to the hospital after a crash. Happened at the intersection of South Barker and West Old Church in Champaign County around 7 this morning. Police say a man in a pickup truck blew through a stop sign with the child inside, hitting a woman in another car who didn't have a stop sign. An ambulance took the man and child to the hospital. Police gave him a ticket. The woman was airlifted from the scene with several broken bones. The crash knocked down a power pole. Cause of a house fire in Rantoul is under investigation. Crews responded to the intersection of South Garrard and East Wabash. The fire chief says it started in the basement and spread quickly throughout the home because of old balloon frame construction and improper insulation. Balloon frame refers to a wood house style of building. Now, crews were on the scene for 4 hours. The home was empty at the time. The fire chief says there's about $100,000 in damage.
The CDC says if you are fully vaccinated, you can gather with other vaccinated people indoors without wearing a mask or social distancing. The recommendation also says vaccinated people can gather with those considered low risk. For example, vaccinated grandparents visiting healthy children and grandchildren. The guidance is designed to address a growing demand. More adults have been getting vaccinated and wondering if it gives them greater freedom to visit family members or travel. Now here's a look at today's COVID numbers statewide. More than 3.3 million shots have been given. Nearly 350,000 of those have been in long-term care facilities. Yesterday, more than 29,000 people got the shot. Now, when it comes to infection rates, there are nearly 1,200 new cases. 5 more people have died. The 7-day positivity rate stands at 2.8%.
More people will be able to attend outdoor high school sports. The IHSA made that decision today with guidance from public health. Schools and regions that are in phase 4 will now be able to increase spectators from 50 people to 20% of venue capacity. The whole state's in phase 4, but this update only applies to outdoor sports. That includes, among others, boys soccer, football, and baseball, and girls soccer and softball.
The White House is looking into a massive email hack whose information was compromised.
Plus this. George Floyd's death led to a wave of protest last summer. What delayed the trial of the officer charged in his killing?